I greet you with the joy of Jesus in my heart, for it is in him that I live, breathe, move, and have my very being. I am so glad that you joined Unboxed on Purpose today. We are a podcast created for Favored by the Father Ministries. I am Barbara Arlene Fields Brehon, your host. Our podcast features guests who share how they stepped outside of comfort zones, maybe dark places in life, or maybe they made a simple pivot toward purpose to become unboxed. We talk about various experiences that lead to the fulfillment of God gifted purpose. So I pray that each episode will help our audience access their authentic destiny. Joining us today from British Columbia is Serafina Sammarco. Hello there.
Hi, Dr. Barbara. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I love your
Sarah,
smile, by the way.
say that again.
I love your smile.
Yours is electrifying.
Oh,
Serafina is retired. She is a wife, mother, and author of the book Isabella's Journey, her battle with blood disorder, Thalassemia Major. She is the founder and president of the Vancouver Thalassemia Society of British Columbia. She is a strong willed, positive individual who will discuss with us when a challenge becomes an inspiration. Welcome again, Serafina Sammarco. Thanks for being here.
thank you for your invitation and for being here. Give me an opportunity to spread the word of what my passion is in life.
We're going to be talking about that passion in just a few seconds. Would you first tell our audience how we know each other or how we met?
Uh, Robert Williams from Quippy Quill has introduced us, and he's such a nice, soft-spoken individual. So I'm really appreciative for him to do that.
Absolutely. Robert Williams is my distributing agent for the books that I write. And so Serafina and I have that in common. And we do appreciate the numerous folks that he's invited to share with us. And God bless him for the work that he does. And so in the information that you sent to me, you said that you retired. And I would really love to know from what you retired.
Well, I say retired from a general insurance broker, but that was just to do something totally different from what I had done before. But then I retired mainly because I wanted to write my daughter's memoir, and I at the same time was helping out with the family business. So I'm semi-retired because the family business is still in existence, and the book is published. So I'm trying to retire, but I don't know when that's going to happen totally yet.
Yeah, I say that I'm retired too, but you see, I'm podcasting, I'm still preaching, I'm still teaching, I'm still doing a whole lot of things. But
Right.
I retired from that secular work that I was doing. And so we're sitting in the same boat with that one.
Yeah.
Retired in one sense, but still working.
Still working. That's right. Yes.
I'd like to talk to you now about how the work that you do or any of the work that you've done in the past kind of collides to create your purpose, your identity, your destiny.
Well,
How does it all come together?
the work that I did before, like I said, it was great, fantastic, great experience, but it didn't satisfy me. It just left me with a job that uh, filled me financially, but not spiritually. So
I
it was
get,
fighting with my purpose. And that's why I left it and just decided to do something else, totally different.
I sound the symbols with that one silently. And so we're going to go ahead and dip into your passion in life. And I always ask my guests to reflect in childhood and teen years. Tell us about those early days in the life of Serafina Sammarco. What were your passions in the early days?
Um, in the early days, very young, I was extremely, I had health challenges continuously. So it made me very strong willed mentally because I wasn't physically well. And so it made me very strong willed to continue, overcome any challenges that came to me. So that started me very, very young.
That makes a lot of sense to me as to why you decided to give this show the subtitle "When a Challenge Becomes an Inspiration." You
That's
just really dumped that out there already, and that's a great thing. And I can also say ditto, because in my younger years, I was kind of sickly, unbeknownst to a whole lot of people. Didn't even know what was wrong or what I had or anything like that. And there was always this, that, or the other, but I was strong willed and determined to do whatever I needed to do. The best of my ability had to come forth, because I couldn't whine and complain about what was wrong. We didn't even know what was wrong. But anyway, who has been your biggest influence in life?
um, I don't have a particular person, but I think that the strong family ties and influence, and the unity that I found in the family has given me a lot of inspiration. Seeing what parents immigrate from Italy, the old country, coming to Canada and watching them strong and continue a new life in a new world. I thought that was very inspiring, and raising such a big family was
How big?
inspiring.
Tell me how big. You just left that wide open. I want to know how
Yeah,
big it was.
where we were, my mother had 11 children, and two of them had passed, and but she still raised nine. And so I was the second last child. So there was, I always say that in my family, there was no time for individuality. We all worked collectively as a family unit.
These are great nuggets for the average person to understand, that when we're talking about influencers, they're usually never on this show coming out of somebody's mouth where the first persons that they name are famous people. Usually, the influencers are parents and persons who are other family members who raised or brought them up, reared them, whatever word people choose to use. So I'm so glad you said that the way that you did, because that makes you your authentic self, not trying to fit into somebody else's box. You have your
So
own identity, and you are pursuing those passions that you had. And again, would you succinctly state what your passion in life was from an early child?
um, I not realizing this at the time, but I always had this innate ability to being able to make others feel better, even though I was not well myself. But that made me happy. So it came spontaneous for me, you know. And so my passion, I guess, would have been to even then help others, you know, to
Makes sense to
see.
me.
I wanted to see harmony around me, and that made me happy.
When I think about you being strong willed and overcoming challenges of health issues or any other things in your life, standing on the background heritage of your family as immigrants coming into a new country, And for those listening, keep in mind, she did say Canada. She did not say U.S. So if about a father has crossed the borderline in that sense, our podcast is across the northern border of the U.S. into Canada. And so we're going to dump some of the public pieces out of your puzzle, public pieces of your puzzle, and identify a box that you stepped out of, or maybe several, and see how God put them together in your life. What specific things would you like to share with the audience as it pertains to stepping outside of a box into your ultimate purpose?
Come to Canada, it was a big challenge for them, and that was done because they wanted to give their children a better life. And so, in watching them maneuver all the challenges that they had as new immigrants, gave me inspiration. They just it was amazing how they adapted to their new lifestyle, and how happy they were in the sense that this was all new and different and better than what we had left behind. And seeing them pull together whenever there was a need, it was an inspiration for me. So I wanted to continue to do that. When I grew up, an adult, have my own family, and just uh, have a happy family with, of course, with challenges. But one of my goals was to, of course, get married, have a family, have children. So yes, my parents would definitely be um, uh, my heroes, actually, who helped me through many difficult situations. And but it didn't matter what it was, but it would be. I knew that that I had their support in the background all the time, and that became a very important aspect of my adult life. I wanted the same thing, and I guess that that's priority, and I feel for people that don't have that. Um,
I
okay,
do
we're back.
understand that passion that you have and how it came from your family coming to the Canadian places where you live now in British Columbia from Italy. And so, as you consider how you have stepped outside of maybe some comfort zones in life, you had a happy family life, a big family. What would you consider your ultimate purpose, and how did you go about achieving or pursuing that? Your purpose for even being alive. Yeah, you've written this book that really is still all about family. And so tell us about your book, the title of your book. We'll display it on the screen, and tell us what inspired you to write it and some of the things that's happening because of the book.
You see, my challenge first started when I was after having two children, and my second one was diagnosed with a severe medical problem. uh, my challenges were to put what I had learned through my family, my strength, put it into use. And that's when I decided, okay, I have a challenge. How we're going to manage this? And so I was lucky enough to have a very supporting, not just my family, but a very supporting husband. And we move forward from that diagnosis, and we lived each day as if it was our last day. And so uh, after her passing, I wanted to my purpose was to pass on the 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 challenges that we've had, but it's make it was a challenge, but through that we became stronger, more resilient. But at the same time, we cherished every day, and I wanted to um, how would I say? I wanted to pass on that exuberant energy that I had to other people that were going through similar situation. It didn't have to be the same illness. It could be anything. And always, I always say to always look at the silver lining. There's a challenge in life, but you always have to look at the lessons and the challenges and move forward. Don't get stuck. And so that was the purpose of my book.
Tell us the name of the book and a little bit more, because there are things that I know, but things that you haven't yet said. So tell us the name of the book, why the name of the book, and I think you'll spill it out from there.
Well, the
I'm going to
name of
go backstage and put the cover of your book up while you talk.
okay, the name of the book is the Vancouver Thalassemia Society, BC. Um, it is no, the name of the book is Isabella's journey, her challenge with Thalassemia Major. And the reason I wrote it is because when I first started the Thalassemia Society, it was a small group and it was not growing. And so years later, I thought, okay, what's another way of passing on this message of what was thalassemia and how can I help? And benefit other people can benefit from our experience. So I thought by writing the book it would do two things. It would help um, it would help other people understand what thalassemia was, but at the same time I wanted to inspire people that no matter what you're going through, life doesn't stop and you have to make the best of it. Um, you can still be happy. You can still look at the small things and be happy with that. Um, it was I wanted to inspire and other people just and learn from the experience rather than just um, oh, okay.
No, don't stop. I
Sorry.
want to just, you don't stop. You want to
Well, you
help
see,
people, and you had said that in the earlier part, and
yeah,
some of the purpose is helping people to understand and navigate the challenges when you find out that your child has thalassemia or any disease. You navigate it along with your family, your husband, your son, the loss of your daughter to this disease, and we understand those things. So anything else you want to share, I just thought I'd pop up on the screen so you would know you were still talking to me.
well, I saw a lot of people, a lot of families that were broken up uh, because of a family illness, and I wanted to show that even though you have a family illness, whether it's thalassemia, whether it's cancer, whether it's whatever it is, there are challenges. Of course, there are. I'm not saying that it was easy for us, but um, my idea was to pass on the message that even though you have the challenges, but you have to welcome those challenges and get past it. Live your life the best, as if really as if it is your last day. And so stop feeling sorry for yourself, number one,
Yeah.
and see what you can do to make your life better in spite of your challenges, no matter what they are. And so I thought that by writing the book, I could pass on this message. And at the same time, I would be able to tell the story of what is thalassemia and how it can affect the individual and the entire family, but not from a medical perspective, from a
Right.
mother's perspective. That's
Wow,
the
that's
purpose.
powerful.
Yes.
From a mother's
Yeah.
perspective, tell the audience what, in a nutshell, maybe one or two sentences, what is thalassemia?
Thalassemia is a genetic disorder, a genetic blood disorder that is inherited. And in order to survive, you need to have regular transfusions. But I will also say that there are different levels of thalassemia. We learned later that there's thalassemia minor, there's thalassemia intermediate, and thalassemia major, and a lot of other different thalassemias in between. And so it's very challenges even for the medical professionals to pinpoint where you're at. And so and it's so common, but yet so very little known about this disease.
I
And
want
I
to
like
add
to,
I want to add right there for the audience that here I am, a retired adult, and only 4 years ago, 2021, after my retirement began, way after my retirement began, I was diagnosed by a hematologist that my primary care doctor sent me to.
wow,
Only in 2021, all this life I've lived, I was diagnosed with thalassemia. And they were surprised at not only me sitting there at my age in front of them with this disease, but that was actually sitting there with the type of thalassemia that I had. And when I shared that with Serafina in our first couple of conversations, she was very, very surprised as well. And I'm going to turn it back over to her. But that's something that I want people to discover and to understand, that the problems that an individual has who has that particular disease, you might feel tired, you might feel sluggish without understanding why, because it is a blood disease. I've never had any blood transfusions or any of those things because of the type that I have. And what she's saying about major and minor and all of that, that's not the way it was explained to me. So I can't say which kind in that way I have. But only a few months ago, my brother, who's older than me, was diagnosed with thalassemia. And it's interesting. And so keep your medical history going, keep your thoughts alive, keep the conversations going, and understand that when she talks about her experiences as a mother, it helps the family to stay together, to stay knitted together despite the challenges. And those challenges do become an inspiration. So let's show that book cover again and continue to talk about the Thalassemia Society and how people can reach out to you.
okay. This is, I don't see the screen. I don't see myself. But, anyways, this is the name of the book, Isabella's Journey, Her Battle with the Blood Disorder, Thalassemia. Um, and like I said before, I'm just simplifying it by saying thalassemia minor, major, and intermediate. But over the years, they've discovered that there are different levels, and that's the tricky part of thalassemia. Not everybody requires transfusions, but what I'm saying is that in our case, we were, when she was diagnosed, the diagnosis was that children with this illness usually die in their teens. And so that was a big shocker for us, for me, for the family. But today, children are living much longer. They can have productive lives. They can have families uh, due to the new the way they're being treated much earlier in life. Unfortunately, that was not the case with us. Um, but that doesn't mean that there's no challenges for these children. Not everybody responds well to the different medication. My daughter and my family, and along with mm, mm, her hematologist particularly, we fought very, very hard to get this drug called Desperol, which was not distributed in Canada, in British Columbia, but it was available in Europe. So I had to fight very hard to make it legal and have it available for my daughter, which at the end was too late for her, but it has been helping other children. But
Wonderful.
over the years, they've come up with different medication, of course, but it's very traumatic, and it's very stressful on the family, financially, emotionally, and health wise. Very stressful. So yes, no, I'm happy to see that they're looking at individual with this illness now. They're looking at intermediate. How can they be treated? They're looking at a lot of other patients where, well, unfortunately, many are still being ignored and misdiagnosed. But however, we have seen um, just someone that we met just last week who has been diagnosed with thalassemia minor, and she didn't know that she had it. And there are
Mhm.
signs like being very tired,
Yeah.
um, uh, having the diet was the only and a healthy lifestyle was the only thing that you can control, really.
That's right.
The rest, yeah, you let the body do what it has to do. Yeah.
Would you
So
tell us the website for the
what?
society?
Yeah.
You send it
Yes,
to me,
I
we'll
will.
put that on the screen. Again, we thank you
Okay.
so much for sharing your insight and being transparent about Isabella, so that that story will help others who are in families struggling to understand what's wrong with their children and to seek diagnoses that will help them to get the care that they need. Thank you so much, Serafina Sammarco. You are unboxed on purpose, and you have encouraged us to step outside of confining boxes, even places and challenges that we have that we don't really understand, and still live with purpose, because you've always wanted to help people. And here you are as a retired woman, having done this, that, and the other, but yet with this society, you are still helping people. Are there any parting words that you would like to share in regard to when challenges become an inspiration?
Sharing words, I would say never give up, never give up. Um, uh, I think that it helps if you believe in a higher power that gives you strength. There is a higher power that gives us power and strength and helps us move forward. This, I always say, too shall end. We're here temporarily, and we need to make the best of what we are faced with and live each day as if it was your last.
I so thank you for taking your time to join Unboxed on Purpose today. There may be listeners who
My
would
pleasure.
like, thank you so much. A listener and virtual viewer may like to join Unboxed on Purpose and be our featured guest, go to our website, favoritbythefather.com, click Contact Us, and schedule a time that we can talk about it. This podcast is designed with average, ordinary people in mind. And so help us to thrive so that we can help you to thrive. Leave your name, email address, unboxed on purpose in the subject line, and briefly tell why you want to be on Unboxed on Purpose. Thank you so much for tapping in. Join us every Thursday for about 30 minutes for the new episodes of Unboxed on Purpose. You can find those recorded sessions that we've uploaded to our YouTube channel, Favored by the Father Ministries YouTube channel, on our Facebook page, on LinkedIn, and most podcast platforms. I like to close by saying that we are like butterflies and we can evolve just like they do. Evolve and spread your wings outside of boxes of confinement. Flutter freely out of the box and allow the Spirit of God to advance you to immeasurable and lofty levels in the Lord. We want you to fulfill your purpose. We want you to grow your intimacy with the Lord, and we want you to grow in grace, which is God's special favor, and above all, remain favored by the Father.
I'm excited to invite you to the second annual Fall Spiritual Retreat, hosted by Favored by the Father Ministries, happening November 13th and 14th, 2025 at the beautiful Williamsburg Christian Retreat Center in Tono, Virginia. This retreat is all about rest, renewal, and spiritual growth, especially for those who are always pouring into others. If you're seeking time to recharge, reconnect, and be spiritually refreshed among like-minded believers, this is your moment. Don't delay. Register today on Eventbrite. And for more details, visit us online at favoredbyfather.com. Let's retreat and be restored. We can't wait to see you there.